Hello, what we're going to be covering in this video is an example of inheritance. So we're going to write a class named customer that is a subclass of the person class that we created in the classes video. The customer class will inherit all the data attributes and methods from our person class. In addition, the customer class should have a data attribute for a customer number and a Boolean data attribute indicating whether the customer wishes to be on a mailing list. And then we're going to write the appropriate property decorators and setters for the data attributes of the customer class. And after that, we're going to go ahead and write a test program that prompts the user to enter data for each of the customer's data attributes, creates an object of the customer class and stores the data in the object, and then uses the object's property decorators to retrieve the data and display it on the screen. So I've gone ahead and I've already written both the customer class and the customer tester class, so we're going to go over that right now. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to open my person underscore customer.py file. And what this consists of is the first lines in the program consist of the person class that we created in our classes video. So it has the init method, it has the 3 property decorators and 3 setters. So our customer will have a name, address, and phone number. And then in addition to that, it will have the customer number or cust number, and if it's on the mailing list or not, as additional attributes. So the first thing we did on line 38 is we used the class keyword, then we specified the name of our class, and then in parentheses, what we've done is we've added the class that we're going to be inheriting from. So we're going to be inheriting from our person class, so that's why I've specified it in parentheses. So what we've done on line 39 is we need an initialize to initialize a customer object. And again, when you write these init methods, there must be 2 underscores, not 1 underscore. So we must include 2 underscores on the front end and the back end of the init. And then in order to create a customer class, we have to pass in the name, address, phone number, cust number, and if it's on the list or not. And in order to set those first 3 data attributes, we can just go ahead and call our person init method that we've written above, as we inherit all this information from our person class. And when we call that person init method from up above, it'll go ahead and it'll set the name, address, and phone number of our customer. And then after that has been done, then we will go ahead and set the customer number and if it's on the mailing list or not, using the setters that we need to create that belong to our customer. So these 2 attributes that we've specified right here, they are not a part of the person class, they're a part of our customer class, and those are the attributes that we need to go ahead and write property decorators for and setters for. So the reason why we do not have to write property decorators and setters for the name, address, and phone number is that we inherit all that information from our person class. And the reason we inherit that information from our person class is that when we defined our class, we've specified that we're inheriting from the person class. So what we've done on line 47 through 57 is we've written the code for our property decorators. The first one is for our property. The second one for our list is a little bit different. Since we're going to be passing in a Boolean value, what we're going to do is we're going to check to see if that Boolean value is true. And if it's true, then what we're going to do, instead of passing back true or false, we're just going to pass back yes or no when that property decorator gets called. So again, if on list the value for that data attribute is true, we'll pass back yes. If it's false, we'll pass back no. And then we have our two setters where we will go ahead and set the values for our customer number and if the customer is on our mailing lists. So that is our person customer class. So let me just go ahead and save this class. And I will go ahead and run it to make sure we don't have any compile errors. So again, what we've done is we've just run the program. We have not created any objects of either the person or the customer class. This is now a blueprint for both creating a person class and a customer class. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead into our customer tester program. So let me just go ahead and expand that. So our first line of code, we need to specify the name of the .py file, .py file, where our person and our customer classes exist in. So again, this is the name of our .py file. If we go back into directory where I've saved it, it is person_customer.py. So the next thing, and then what I've done is I've just added an alias PC. So when I reference that the classes in that file, I do not have to reference it by using person_customer. So again, the first thing we need to do is we need to prompt the user to get the data attributes. So the user is going to enter the name, address, phone number, customer number, and does the customer wish to be on the mailing list? We're going to have the user enter yes or no for that value. And then what we're going to do is after they enter yes or no, we're going to go ahead and set a new variable called onListFlag, and that is where we're going to set it to our Boolean values of true or false. So after we've done that, we have information for the data attributes for the object that we're going to create. So what we're going to do on line 17 is we're going to create an object of the customer class. We're creating an object of the customer class, not the person class. So it will be customer one. And then again, we need to go ahead and specify our what we've basically our alias for our person customer file so we can access the definition of our customer class. So again, we're creating a customer, and in order to create a customer, we must pass in a name, address, and phone number, and then a customer num, and then our onListFlag value of true or false. And then after that, what we're doing on lines 20 through 25 is we're going ahead and we're calling the property decorators for our name, our address, our phone number, our custom, and our onLists, and in order to display the information for our customer one object that we created based on our customer class. And again, in order to access that information for customer one, you need to specify the name of the object and then dot notation and the name of the property decorator. In our case, they are name, address, phone number, custom, and onList. And then again, since our customer class inherits from our person class, when we make this call to use the property decorators, it'll go ahead within our class, it'll pull the information using the name, address, and phone number person decorators that we've created, since the customer inherits that information from our person class. So let's go ahead and run our code now. So I will go ahead and run our module. I'll type in John Doe. I'll type in address 23 Main Street. I'll type in our phone number 225-5808. I'll type in a customer number 1A9090, and then does the customer wish to be on the mailing list? I'll go ahead and enter yes. So what it returns is my John Doe, my address, my phone number, the customer number, and then we want to be on the mailing list. So basically what we've walked through in this video is an example of a class that inherits from a base class. In this case, we created a customer class that inherited from a person class. And this example just shows you that when you inherit from a class, you do not have to rewrite the property decorators and the setters for those attributes that you inherit from that parent or base class. You can use that information because of inheritance. So that's all I wanted to cover on this video. So we will talk to you later.